Good evening and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk. Tonight, we're very fortunate and you to have with us a former provincial board member of Negros Oriental and now the councilor-elect of Dumaguete City, Attorney Jose Petit Anfone Baldado. Councilor Petit, thank you very much for being my guest tonight. And really, this is a refreshing thing for me considering that we haven't spoken and wala tayong nagkakita for so long a time. So thank you very much for being my guest tonight, sir.
Okay, Dok Dinno, thank you very much for making me your guest this evening. I hope you will not be asking difficult questions for me.
Definitely not. I think this time around, because this is an opportune time also for you to thank those who voted for you and your supporters during the election. So this interview has been with you has been scheduled, no, sir. So to give you time and opportunity to thank all those who in one way or another help you win this city councilor position and being our councilor elect this time around. Now, let me ask you the first question, Councilor Petit. Now, talk about your decision. You had, I think, 2 more terms to be a board member, but talk about your decision to run as city legislator rather than running for election as a provincial board member.
Yeah, I've been answering this issue a lot of times kahit nagkamagulong-utana. Anyway, main reason for that is I think I feel the love of Dumaguete sa ako because during the time when I ran as governor against Governor Macias, that was 2010, I think that was the time. Murag boto or before that. Anyway, I won in Dumaguete by almost 8,000, considering that Governor Macias was an icon or a political giant, but yet Dumaguete people give me that lead, which is almost 8,000. Then after the Dumaguete, after that time, when I ran as board member last election, gipadaog po ko sa Dumaguete for dako-dako nga boto ay ipindigan ako ang ubang councilor kami, ang ubang personalities coming from Dumaguete.
Okay.
So there were 2 occasions na Dumaguete showed nga Dumaguete needs me or maybe they want me to serve them also. Yeah. So instead of going back to the board member, nga wider ang area, I felt nga I could be sa akong gingon suklian ako or repay what Dumaguete did to me. Another is I'm more on kanang gitawag og more on ang akong training expertise is more on local governance.
Correct.
Not even legislation. Correct. I am more I've been a mayor for 20 years and my exposure, my training is more on local governance. Correct. Maybe I could be of help in running the city, even in spite of me ako sa sanggulian sa legislator.
That's right.
I could serve Dumaguete sa local governance process nga murag laboratory. Makita nimo, like for example, there are things nga ang ayang mahimos Dumaguete that I could be of help or I could be more effective rather than be with the 2nd district as a board member. Another reason is ako kayong coverage sa 3rd district at 2nd district niya. Mas easier na ko I'll be here in Dumaguete. Those were the reasons why I have to decide nga arikos Dumaguete.
Well said. Now, yung pagiging councilor-elect nyo ngayon for Dumaguete City, how does this differ, if any, from your being a mayor of a municipality here in Negros Oriental for 20 years, as you said, as you mentioned, no? Vice governor, governor, and board member. Yes.
Sorry. There's a big difference, Dok Dinno. Because if you are councilor, ang imo is just to support the agenda of the mayor for as long as the agenda is in consonance with your principle, with your whatever. Because there are basic differences sa ato ang leadership. Now, I could be of help in terms of passing legislation that would support sa executive agenda.
Right.
That should be the basic principle that we should follow. So that's the difference between being a mayor and being a councilor. I'd rather og mahimo unta, it's nice to be in the executive because it's you who will map out or you implement the programs that are supposed to be implemented.
Yes, yes.
That's the difference.
Okay. Well said. Now, Councilor, you won or lost some political races in the past, and now you won as city councilor. Talk about your realizations in politics after all these years.
It's very well. I have to be honest and frank and candid with you, Dok Dinno.
Yes.
It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating, and I am so disillusioned with what's happening to this country today when it comes to politics.
Okay.
During my time, pagsugod na ako in 1975, 76, the mayors before, well, talking of local governance, there ang municipalities before, ang LGUs, wala kabalas uban, gamay ra kayo ang budget. Like, for example, in Manhuyon. I was the mayor in 1975, or I see, 1976, somewhere there. Ang budget sa Manhuyon is only 600,000. Budget, 600,000. Now, the budget of these municipalities and others runs over 100 million. My salary during the time was only 400 or 600 pesos.
Wow.
So, ang mayor kay itong panahon di mapugdag yung challenge, di mapugdagan ang problema because may basura, disorders, jutile ang tao. So, all you have to do is just manage a very small community. Karon, manage being a mayor, being a chief executive, you have a bigger area to manage, a bigger problems to address to, no? So, I said I'm frustrated because during the time, kaning gitawag na to pahimulos sa gobyerno, wala kayo. All the mayors before nga ako nakita were ang madungog magunimo dayon sa mga gulang sa una, ligdom yun na siya. May prinsipyo yun na sila.
That's right.
Karon di ang imong madungog, hoy ayaw kay na sa ibang auto, hoy ayaw kay na sa ibang mansion.
Yeah, that's
before,
right.
Wala na nimo madungog kunya kani bang well, I have to be candid and frank. Inirong mga 10%, 20% of this from whatever, ramp up kayo. Sa una, wala na because there is no 10% sa una. Wala yung opportunity for you to commit that.
That's right.
Because there's the money. I don't know na. May kwarta din, maybe, ang tao siguro madala. But during the time, it was more, akong gitawag of, doon na ba'y kalainan sa karon. There's a huge well of difference sa atong politics karon og before. Okay, ang vote buying sa una, because you were already asking me,
yes, of course.
Dili rampant because if you are a mayor sa una, all you have to do is just being nice, go to the usual land, be with people. Karon, ang election is ang pag-elect mo tao leader is not based on qualification, based on his integrity or whatever. Ako nakita is based more on money, based on the resources that you have. That's why that's the great difference between before and the now.
Okay. Now, that's good to hear from you, sir. Now, share your thoughts on or advice to those candidates who failed to in their bid to in these elections. What advice can you give them?
Those who napindi?
Yes.
Well, I have to be blunt and honest about it. Earn more money and run again.
Yeah. This is going to be a good interview.
I'm just being, brutally frank with what's going on. I'm sorry for that.
No, it's okay. Those are your thoughts, no. And what other advice could you share with us? What other advice could you share with us for those who did not make it this time around in these elections?
Well, as I said, murag dala na ng komedya. Earn more money and run again and project yourself as somebody the normal way that you're still capable, that you are willing to serve. But the basic thing that I want to emphasize on your mind is you have to earn more money and run again.
Correct.
Because now you cannot run. What may kwarta, that is ako yun lang nakita. I am being brutally frank and honest of my opinion.
Okay. Now, let's look back and talk about your Sangguniang Panlalawigan stint, of recent, Could you talk about a significant legislation that you specifically authored or became part of or co-authored that had a very good impact on the lives of the second district of Negros Oriental?
Actually, during my stay as a board member for 3 years, when you pass legislation, it's not for the second or what district, it's for the whole thing. No?
Okay.
I passed to important legislation about environment. One is the banning of reclamation of all marine protected area, and then another landmark legislation that I passed is the use of renewable energy instead of using the fossil fuel, for generation of power.
Although it's still new, no? But let's talk about your legislations that you're thinking of initiating once the August body of the city comes out now and have their session. What will be some of the legislations that you will be initiating in the city council?
Actually, Dok Dinno, I still want to go around and find out what are the best legislations that is more effective that is needed in the community, because usually we have a bias dayon, ordinary legislation. These are the things we need without investigating first. First, I want to know also mga legislations that we have nga wala ma-implement.
Okay.
Because the usual traditional thinking of people is legislators are always measured in terms of number of legislations that they pass. What mo yung ganit ka kapasakan bisan ko sa kabalaod, which for me is dili maayong gauge or barometer of the success of that legislator.
Okay.
Well, of course, mo magyuto may ang trabaho, but we have a lot of laws that are not being implemented. And then para ganit na ako, once we have this, I think na i-codify na to ang legislations that we have in the city, find out unsay naitabo sa implementation, whether they're implemented, or na-implement ba, did it change the lives of the people of Dumaguete? Or we need to revise that legislation or maybe improve the implementation that would serve the purpose of that legislation. Because usahay wala ni nakita, it's always na legislation ang una din lang tawon sa mga councilor sa mga legislatura. So if that's the case, I can have 20 lawyers and make legislation 10 legislations a day. But anyway, what is important is you find out where unsa may ang ayang legislation na naano nato niya wala ma-implement, and then implement that, and then improve that. Nga ang implementation must serve the purpose of the legislation. That is my plan. Now, but anyway, since you're asking on that, more or less I will be working more on the environment. So I want to find out kung sa mga legislation nga ang environmental part ma-improve na to. Like for example, ang solid waste management, kung sa may mga butang diyan, nga naman wala pa ma-improve wala pa fully implemented ang segregation at base, at source. So these are the basic things that we want to do. Then after that, maybe we could talk of other legislations relevant and would answer to the basic problems of the city of Dumaguete.
Okay. Thanks, Councilor, for that. Now, given the opportunity... Yes.
Doc,
please do.
Peace and order. Ang peace and order, siging daghang patay sa Dumaguete. I'm not blaming any politika because this has been sa una pa na But until now, pinaka-buok ang napatay nga wala nga na mahatangig kasulbaran.
Correct.
So, unsa may buhaton na to? I'm not saying I have the answer, but these are issues that should be the concern of the people of the city of Dumaguete. Do we have a prototype model nga ma-solve ng problema? Because gimong taga-aglista ni pila na siguro ka bond paper ang mga taong ipatay nga until na wala ma-solve.
Correct.
So unsa may reason nga wala ma-solve?
Yes.
So these are the basic things that we have to do because we have a lot of experts.
Correct.
We have a lot of military men who are supposed to be very intelligent because they pass mga examinations sa mga quality military schools. But yet, I still have to find out unsa may basic things that we should do as deterrent or makaprevent ining mga killings nga very rampant in the city of Dumaguete and all over Negros Oriental.
Okay. Now, on that note, no, given the opportunity to serve as either as chairperson or as a member of a city council committee, no, what would you opt for? What committees would you select on?
Well, as I said, my training, my exposure, and my passion is more on the environment. So I would be asking those who are in charge of the committees, which I will assign, that I would be asking the chairmanship of the committees in environment.
Okay. Now, share your thoughts, Councilor, on the new presiding officer of the city legislation, Vice Mayor-elect Maisa Sagarbaria. Your thoughts on her?
Actually, I could not say anything about Maisa because I have not known her personally.
Okay.
But maybe, being a lady, she could use her charm to, convince people to, because sometimes with Cowboy presiding officer, there is a skill, it's an art, how to preside and then convince people of your whatever to make it an orderly meeting or session. As a lady, on the basis of being a lady, maybe she could be very effective as vice presiding officer.
Okay. Now, pardon the term, Councilor, that you are a veteran in legislative work, no? Pardon the word veteran, no? I'm sure you're still young at heart, no? But what may you suggest to make legislative endeavors in the city council more effective and more efficient?
First of all, I would like to have talking on kanina, tawag in inventory of all legislations that we passed. Kung sa mga balaura na natulog, kung sa balaura nga gipasaka for the sake of compliance, maybe the Sangguniang Panlunsod, the councilor, will really talk heart kung sa mga legislation atong gamon. And then, wala pa tayong problema because there's already a standing process, a protocol for that. It's a matter of deciding unsang legislation ang atong ipasaka. It's not just because we are compelled to pass an ordinance because that is expected to us. E mo madayon ay measure of performance. Isang ang legislation is it's a silly and stupid legislation. So as long as there is a legislation, moingon na magunang tao, maayos siya kay daghan siyang balaod. Although that legislation is not being implemented, it does not change the lot of the people. Like, for example, to be honest about it,
yes,
ang Senate, ang Congress, we have a lot of laws and we spend millions, but it's not being implemented and it does not change the people of the Philippines in spite of all those legislations. So in other words, it's a waste of money, to be honest about it. Because daghan kayong balaod nga wala. I'll give you one, the asin law. It's a stupid law requiring those who are making asin also nga mahimong iodized. And then people have to buy, you cannot sell asin everywhere of dili na iodized. And I think it's not yet being repealed until now. And everybody is violating the law because they are now selling rock salts without being iodized. So I said it's a stupid law because sa bukid, ang mga tao dito pakanon ang ilahang kalabaw, baka o asin. So, wala yung kabaligyan iodized. Wala naman, iodized man yun, hindi mong baka gakaog iodization, which is very expensive. So, this is only one of the examples of, I would say, ang balaod sa hay is just made for the sake of compliance. Kunya, wala ba yung something na makapausog sa kinabuhi sa tao.
Okay. Now, Councilor, how do you see yourself legislatively assisting and helping the administration of Mayor Ipet in its projects, programs, and activities pegged for the next 3 years?
That's a very good question, Dok Din.
Yes.
You must remember that there are basic differences between lupad and kasaligan.
That's
I
right.
belong to the other side.
That's right, sir.
Do not have difference. Now, if the projects and programs of the mayor of Dumaguete, which is also a friend of mine,
Yes.
if we believe that it's really for the good of the people, then that's the problem. We're going to support that. But
That's great.
sometimes, as I said, there are basic differences between the two groups.
Got it.
Now, if we could come up a balancing act wherein these basic differences we can arrive at a balance, then
Correct.
maybe a cooperation would happen.
Okay.
But if the basic differences didn't reconcile, then probably we will be sticking with our stand.
Mm-hmm. Now, you made mention, no? Talk about your personal relations with Mayor Ipe Remulla.
Well, you good problema because we are friends. As a matter of fact, pareho kami, we are from Siliman, onya, wala kami makita for so many years, but
Correct.
still we are friends. We are good friends.
Okay. Now, let us know, Councilor, to whom do you seek advice whenever making major decisions and in politics and in public service?
Again?
To whom do you
You're
seek
asking me, asa ko na ngayon og mga advice?
advices or whenever you're making major decisions in politics and in public service? If any.
Actually, without sounding what you call this hypocrite about it, I usually pray before I make a major decision. Second, I always go around and test my decision to a lot of people and get their consensus. Although we have our own view, we are being a lawyer and an old person, you have already acquired wisdom and experience. Still, I have to go around with people and ask them. Even my driver, even there's a confidant, there's a very close person to me who died last year. We were together for so long a time. At ko niya mangutana kalaganan. But what is important to me is I'm very consultative. Isa ka lang sa akong mga kauban kung saan magdulag, kanang mga paraha-paraha. I usually test them sa akong idea and let them talk about my idea. And then crop up naman ang mga issues niya na wala mo nakita.
And finally, on that note, Councilor, your message to the people of Dumaguete City.
Well, to the people of Dumaguete, at least we have hurdled the first part of choosing our leaders. Now it's just a matter of cooperating with us. We will be asking your opinions later and your participation. But what is important is the leadership of Dumaguete, the mayor, chief executive, and the sangguniang panlunsod will always be consultative and asking your opinion. So rest assured that this administration I believe, will have a smooth sailing if we can just talk and sit down and discuss things for the good of the people of Dumaguete.
That's good to hear from you, Councilor. Now, Councilor, thank you very much for being my guest for tonight's show. Really long time coming, and I'm very happy to have you as my guest for tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much also, Dok Dinno. I'm sorry for being frank and brutally honest with my answer.
That's what we need to hear. And we will be more brutally honest next time around when you have your first few sessions in council. And
thank you so much.
Anyway, it's all for progress and development of the community. So that's what we're after. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyways,
thank you.
Thank you very much. This is we have our guest, a former provincial board member of Negros Oriental and now councilor-elect of Dumaguete City, Attorney Jose PETIT, ANFONE BALDADO. Please continue to like us at our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter accounts, and do subscribe to your YouTube channel. Let's Talk with Dok Dinno Dumaguete. So that's our show for tonight. I'm Dok Dinno. Be well, and let's keep talking.